A class can be defined as a template, blueprint that describe the behaviors, states that object of its type support. Class can also be defined as collection of objects sharing similar properties and behavior. So, example person, employee, vehicle, etc. What is a class? So, whenever you look into any particular set of objects available before you, we will try to identify a set of objects sharing similar properties and behavior. So, for example, if I enter into a room, a classroom, so then I can look into a set of students. So, among the students I can look into set of girls, set of boys. Then I can look into furnitures available. So, then I can look into blackboard. So, each of these. So, how do I identify a set of? So, it means that having same properties as well as behavior. So, then after that I classify them into a class. So, it means that a set of objects which share same set of properties and behavior are classified, and then they are given a template, and then we define that as a class. So, a class could be defined in such a way that it is a template or blueprint for which you can create many objects. So, for a particular class we can create many objects. So, if I say a person as a class, so I may have n number of persons. Similarly, if I have an employee, I may have n number of employees. So, employee 1 is an instance of your class, employee 2 is an instance of the class. So, it means that whenever I say employee, all employees will have a same set of properties as well as behavior. So, what is behavior? Behavior is nothing but the method or functionality of a particular class. So, here is an example, public, class. So, I have given person here. So, private, and then private is nothing but the access specifier that we have seen already. String is a data type and name is the variable name. So, here you can notice that string start with S, that is uppercase S. So, it means that it is a class. So, string is of type class. Next I have a private int and then age. Next we have private character sex. Next is public void and walking. So, this is a method. Here we did not give any definition. So, just it is a blank definition. So, here you can see that we have a public class, the access specifier is public, it could be accessed from anywhere, and then I have given the variables to be the private. So, it means that whenever I have a class and whenever I create objects of the class, so all these variables could not be accessed directly, and there should be some methods, some public methods to access these variables. So, this is what is a pure object mean. So, next we will look into what is an object. So, object is any real world entity. So, an object is also termed as instance of a class. So, objects have ID, state and behaviors. Example, a person has a state, name, age and sex, as well as behaviors, walking, talking, eating, etc. So, this is how an object could be created. So, now what is an object? So, object is any real world entity. So, and then whenever I create a class, whenever I write a class, we can create many objects. So, here you can see that person is a class for which I have created an object called P. Similarly, I can create n number of persons. Whenever I say object, then it means that we have to look into object references. So, obtaining objects of a class is a two-step process. One is, first you must declare a variable of the class type. So, we have in the previous example, here we have seen that person. So, here we have a variable that is being declared, that is P is an object of type person. This variable does not define an object, instead it is simply a variable that can refer to an object or simply an object reference. So, whereas in other programming languages, whenever we give a particular declaration of a variable, it means that a space is being allocated, whereas it is not in this case of Java. So, it means that whenever I declare an object of a particular type, it means that we are trying to create an object reference. So, we have not allocated any space for this particular type of object. So, the second step is you must acquire an actual physical copy of the object. So, assign the address or reference of that object to that variable. So, we would have seen memory allocation, dynamic memory allocation in programming languages like C and C++. So, similar to that, here also you can do this using the new operator. So, new operator is used to create a memory space, allocate memory to a particular object, and then this could very well be assigned to a particular object name. So, here it is a two-step process as already told. So, we try to declare an object of type person, and then we are trying to allocate memory for this particular class and then assign that to this object reference. So, you can see that here private string name, it is a string, it is again an object, here name is an object, age is a primitive data type, character, it is a primitive data type. Again we also have a method. The entire space that need to be occupied for one object creation will be created here using this operator called new. After creation of this, we will try to assign this particular value to a variable that is declared to be of that particular object type. Instead of doing this in two different statements, you can very well do this in a single statement also. Person P is equal to new person. So, it means that we are trying to declare an object of type person and then we are trying to allocate the memory both in the same particular statement. Now, just we will see what is a class and object again. A class is nothing but a template, a blueprint, and the instance of the class is said to be an object.